let me tell you, boys and girls, Courtney has been going through some dire straits recently. Yes, dire straits. Bad things have been happening to me. Let me tell you, case in point. Cacti, right? Cacti, yes. If you own one of these guys, you may want to consider getting rid of it or putting it far, far away from you. Yes, get rid of it or put it some position where it cannot harm you. This thing is a bastard, let me tell you. So I'm here the other day sitting at the computer, type, probably on YouTube, going to town. Suddenly, there was a crash, and I'm, what the hell is that? So I turn and I look, and my cacti has leapt from where it is perched normally over there on my refrigerator, and is on the ground. And all the little cacti, it's like they're trying to get away. They're trying to escape from my room. It's like they couldn't take living with me anymore. So, this was a negative event, needless to say, because unfortunately I don't really own any tongs or something particularly conducive to picking up little cacti pieces. So I'm there very gingerly with my hand, trying to pluck the little cacti and put them back in their pots, and it's just, it was actually a tragedy for my fingers, because I had just thousands of little spines stuck in them, and I had tweezers, and I couldn't get them out. It was terrible. And so I mentioned before that I'm an intern at an art center here, and see, the bad thing about being an intern is that there's a lot of typing. There's a lot of sitting on your ass and typing things up. So I'm there, and let me tell you, having spines in your fingers while you're trying to type, agony, pure agony, dire straits. So I mentioned to my boss, I'm like, hey Sarah, check it out, look at the spine, you know, and she's like, she looks at my hand, she's like, oh, well, will you look at that? We must do something about that at once, you poor dear. So all of a sudden, let me tell you, it's like, this was a terrible mistake. Terrible mistake. If you have a cacti little piece in your hand, keep it to yourself. Lesson 1, keep it to yourself, right? So, like, you know, all of a sudden, Sarah calls, she's like, does anybody have a needle? Needle? I'm just like, a needle? Damn, you know, I'm getting scared, obviously. And then, you know, I work with a whole bunch of older, middle-aged women, and there's a woman actually there who's a volunteer. She's 85 years old. Her name is Nancy. She's a lovely woman, but apparently she has some really terrifying things in her desk, because when Sarah goes, does anybody have a needle? Right? Nancy goes, I have a needle. And I'm like, oh, well, Nancy has a needle. What do you know? So Nancy has this needle, and then it's like, does anybody have a rubbing alcohol? And, you know, everybody's digging wildly through their desk. Like, everybody. It's like the whole place, the whole facility pauses. They're no longer going about their little art business. Everybody's focused on finding rubbing alcohol or other, you know, surgical tools for, you know, digging this spine out of my hand. And so everybody's digging around. And, you know, let me tell you, who has rubbing alcohol on their desk? Honestly, like you, yes, you who are watching this video right now, you video watcher, do you have rubbing alcohol on your desk? No, of course you don't have rubbing alcohol on your desk. That's weird, you know? Like, what? Why? You know? And so everybody digs around, and apparently, you know, nobody has rubbing alcohol on their desk except for Patrice. Patrice has rubbing alcohol on her desk. Now, I learned something that I did not know before, something I learned every day, learned something new. She takes a look at this rubbing alcohol bottle, and she goes, oh, well, this is expired. Okay, you know, I didn't know that rubbing alcohol actually could expire. I thought that was something that was always good, like Tootsie Rolls. I thought that, you know, it was something that's forever, eternally, you know, viable. But no, apparently not. So anyway, it's like, does anybody have a match? Okay. Nancy's like, I have a match. Nancy has scary shit in her desk. Nancy had a match. So they're there setting fire to this needle, like trying to sanitize it. Oh, thank God they're going to sanitize the needle, do some surgery on my hand. So, and I swear, I'm not kidding. They were like, I don't know, I had a cloister of middle-aged women and Nancy, you know, digging around in my hand. I'm kind of wincing. I'm like, oh. You know, it was very painful. And it's success, victory, you know, they got the thing out, and, you know, I still have all 5 of my fingers, but let me tell you, the thought occurred to me, who else does this kind of thing happen to? Like, I don't know, how many times when you're at work do you have surgery happen? Just like on any given day, you know, how often does surgery occur to you at work? Not often, right? Never, right? Right. Weird stuff only happens to me. Dire straits. Let me tell you what else. I have some particularly bad luck. If you have a drain, you need to keep me away from it. Because the other day I was there in the bathroom and I'm trying to wash out, I had salad, I'm trying to wash out the little plate, and somewhere along the line I managed to clog up the drain. Good for me, right? But you know what? I believe that I can fix everything, and I didn't have any Drano, so I figured I was going to be resourceful. So I grabbed, your basic pen, had a pen, and I'm digging around the drain. Kind of gross, but whatever, I thought I would help. I had good intentions. So I'm there digging around, and guess what happened? Yeah, I did drop it. I dropped the pen in the drain. Good work. So I'm looking like, how am I going to get this pen out of the drain? Can't leave the pen in the drain. So, I look and I'm like, oh, there are tweezers. Can't use my favorite pair of tweezers. Gonna use the second favorite pair of tweezers. So I have, my second tweezers. I'm digging around trying to pull that pen out. Get that pen. Guess what happened? Yeah, you called it. I dropped the tweezers in that drain too. So, very reluctantly, I was very hesitant, but I got my favorite pair of tweezers. And let me tell you, I'm pleased to report that I did not actually drop my favorite pair of tweezers down that drain. I was very unhappy that I had to get them anywhere near the drain. That's kind of gross, right? But I managed to pull out the first pair of tweezers that I had managed to lose in the abyss, but I could never recover that damn pen. So I had to call the maintenance people, right? And we have a very exciting maintenance man. His name is Harold. And Harold was, apparently, I was not in the room, but Harold yelled at my roommate. He was like, why you have pen in this drain, child? And, Kristen's like, I didn't put a pen in that drain. That was Courtney. So she was asking me, like, did you put a pen in the drain? Apparently there's all kinds of weird shit in our drain. You're disgusting people. You're watching the video of a disgusting person, let me tell you. Dire straits. Bad things have been happening to me lately. And I thought I would share my stories or my woes. Dire straits. Let me tell you what else. I think that I need to have you all pray for me. Let me tell you, everybody that I say that I pray for, I do pray for you. I really do. But, ever since I've had this job as an intern, I feel like I'm not moving enough. I'm not getting enough physical activity. I'm kind of having this sedentary lifestyle. So I've taken to jumping on my trampoline a little bit more than I used to. Actually, I'd say I average somewhere between an hour and a half on that damn thing every day. And I think that probably because of the increased leaping on the trampoline, I think that I'm starting to lose weight. Well, I know that I'm starting to lose weight. And here's what scares me, and here's why I need prayer. When I stand on that scale and I see a lower number than I saw, a previous recent time that I stepped on the scale, I go, whoa. And those of you who have struggled with an eating disorder know the feeling that I'm about to tell you about. When you step on that scale and you see that you've lost weight, there is a euphoria. There's a feeling of exhilaration that I could only liken to maybe, I'm not a drug user, but it feels like taking a hit of something. Truly, it is like this surging, just feeling of, you're so elated, and it scares me so badly, and I don't know how I could be cured of that. Maybe I would know that I was well at a point if I could step on the scale, see that I lost weight, and not feel anything, but it was just like, it feels so good. And that's so scary because this is such a slippery slope, and I'm so scared that I'm going to regress. And so, basically, I'm going through a time where maybe I'm not having the best of luck, and I'm not just talking about the cacti and the pen, that's just stupid stuff. I'm having a little bit of a rough time, and, having a relapse is the last thing that I need. So, I really do need you guys to keep me accountable, and, keep me in your prayers. Anyway, I'm going to go to Meijer, and I'm going to get some cheap grape pop. Yeah, pop. Soda. I'm going to get some of that cheap soda. I don't know if you've ever had the Meijer grape pop or the delicious red soda. You got to check that out. I highly recommend. Alright, I'm getting out of here. I'll see you guys later. Bye.